Can we go back? This is the moment. Tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over. So we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us.
Welcome to this week's edition of Don't Mess with the Dragon's Ears. I'm Jacob Byron. Now, normally I would break down 3 albums and 3 singles. This week, however, I'm going to be only breaking down 2 albums due to the potential power and, I guess, critical acclaim of one of these albums. The first album I'm starting off with is the one that's going to take the most time on this week's show. Drake's album, Nothing Was the Same. I mean, I love Drake when it comes to rapping and just singles in general, and I don't know, there's just something about this album that isn't quite where it needs to be. Now, we all remember that Drake won Grammys for Take Care. He won Hip Hop Album of the Year, which some people question because it really wasn't a hip hop album. This one isn't either. It's not really like the core of hip hop. It's more so a lot of singing, really great production on the entire production team. I know Drake was executive producer of his album, so that's fantastic for him. And just, you know, the entire Young Money, Cash Money team, great job. You know, the album is really, really well done. But there's still just too much singing. It's too much, a little too much whining on the album. Like, it really does sound like some R&B and just not, it's not hip hop. So I know a lot of people, you know, are giving it A+ rankings and, you know, a lot of critical acclaim, but the lyricism is there for Drake. It always has been. His skill rapping-wise has been there for as long as he's been in the game, and his third album shows that. But he's just pushing the singing a little too much. If it does get nominated for Hip Hop Album of the Year at the Grammys, I don't know what to think. I mean, last year with Take Care won, it was a great album and everything, but you know, you had Nas's album up last year, Life Is Good, and that was, I mean, Nas is without a doubt a legend of hip-hop, so to have Drake beat him with an album that is primarily singing is, in my opinion, ridiculous. So this year, if it is nominated and does win again, I mean, I understand it winning for Album of the Year because it's a great album, but for it to win Hip-Hop Album of the Year would just be ridiculous, especially with J. Cole's album out and, of course, Kendrick Lamar. I can imagine them having a little bit of something to say if Drake happens to take home the Hip-Hop Grammy again. There's a few good songs on the track. I mean, he does a song with Jay-Z, which, you know, any song with Jay-Z is pretty much amazing in my opinion. So there's a lot of good gems on the track. You know, started from the bottom, now we're here, and Drake definitely shows that he did start from somewhere and is continuing his path, but just not in a way that I think he should be. As if he wants to be a true MC, a true hip-hop artist, he would kind of ditch the singing a little bit and go more so, you know, spit some lyrics, make it good, and stop singing all your hooks. Every other track is an R&B track, not a hip-hop track, in my opinion at least. The second album I want to talk about this week is getting away from more, I guess, pop, I guess more into pop a little bit, but away from what most people nowadays would listen to. Sir Elton John released his 30th solo album of his career, and The Diving Board, and it is just, it's incredible. It's an incredible piece of art. I mean, well, both the albums I'm talking about this week are incredible pieces of art. You know, just great production, great, just amazing flow to it. I mean, anybody who knows Elton John, I mean, I'm sure people from our generation remember him as the guy who sang the Lion King songs, did the performance at the Grammys with Eminem, with Stan, and he's just, but I mean, overall, vocally, you know, piano-wise, the instruments, they're just all there. He's at his best right now. For it to be his 30th album, that's just incredible for him. I mean, you know, a few tracks to note on the album if you don't want to buy the entire album, because we all know that most people don't buy albums nowadays. You know, there's A Town Called Jubilee is an amazing track on there, and just, you know, there's a song called The Ballad of Blind Tom that he just, you know, it's an homage to Blind Tom, who was a piano player back, you know, in the slave times and before the Civil War and all that, but it's just an amazing piece of art. The entire album is very well done. The piano, obviously, being Elton John, carries it. It's soft rock, really, so, you know, if you're into just hanging out and chilling and relaxing, listening to some piano, some great vocals, I would suggest buying this album and just relaxing and enjoying. And it's a break from all the, you know, all the drowned out pop and, you know, terribleness that has, you know, graced the radio stations nowadays. It's a really good break and brings back true artistry to the music environment in some way. Now for the first of the 3 singles I want to break down, The first one is a Mike Will Made It production that features Miley Cyrus, Juicy J, and Wiz Khalifa, titled 23. Now this is obviously, you know, a shout out to Michael Jordan, without a doubt the greatest basketball player of all time, one of the, you know, the legends. The track itself, however, is, I don't like it at all. I mean, Mike Will Made It's an amazing producer, so the beat is bumping. If you want a song that just bumps and you don't want to think about anything else, this is a great track for you. But if you're looking for lyricism, things that matter, you know, symbolism, in-depth themes or concepts, no, this isn't the place to go. But if you're having a party, this definitely needs to be on your playlist. Miley Cyrus is in it doing her thing again that she likes to do, where she kind of sings. In this one, she raps a little bit, or quite a bit, which is just unsettling to somebody who really enjoys hip-hop and the pure art form of it. But, you know, Juicy J and Wiz Khalifa, they do their part. They make it, you know, what it needs to be. And it's overall going to be a crowd pleaser for this generation. But for me, it's not for me, at least. The second single I want to talk about is kind of a hidden single on Big Sean's album, Hall of Fame. The single's called First Chain, and it features Nas and Kid Cudi. It's an amazing single. You're not going to find, it's not one of the singles that got released with the album, but if you look inside the album, you'll find it's a nice little hidden track. You know, Nas does his thing, provides amazing lyricism to the track. The beat is great. The hook is even catchy. You know, first chain, all they talk about is how they got their first chain, which is great. You know, first chain in hip hop is sort of a symbol of making it, so it's great for all these artists on the track. But, you know, the beat, once again, phenomenal. I mean, Big Sean's album, you know, good music, you know, Kanye and No ID touch that track and it just becomes amazing. So for that song, if you're just looking for a good hip hop track, buy Big Sean's album in general, because it's a pretty decent album. You know, good music always puts out good music, in my opinion. And look for that song. It's hidden somewhere within that album, and it's just well done. The third single I want to talk about is the #1 single on iTunes right now. This is Lord's Royals, something to that nature. I didn't really understand why it's #1 on iTunes. I mean, it's a cute song, but this artist isn't as vocally gifted as a lot of the artists that have come out over the years, like Adele, even Miley Cyrus when she does decide to sing instead of rap. You know, this artist isn't quite up there. I get the point of the song. The point of the song is like, you know, I guess the chorus has something to do along the lines of all you hear people talk about is Maybachs and, you know, getting money and all that. And she's like, we're not that type of royal, or we want to be royal, or something like that. I don't know. But it's like we get the point. I don't see where the appeal is. It's, you know, you're not as vocally gifted as the rest. It's a catchy little song, but I don't understand why everyone seems to like it. But if it's #1, you gotta have it on your playlist, otherwise people will be like, you didn't hear that song? And I'm gonna be like, no, I didn't hear that song. I was busy listening to Elton John's album, or even the songs where Drake raps on his. So that's this week's edition of Don't Mess with the Dragon's Ears. I'm Jacob Byron. Please start listening to good music.
Welcome to the Random Ramel Show, sponsored in part by some defunct cereal like Golden Crisp, which I hate. I hate Golden Crisp. It's a terrible cereal, just like Smacks. I don't know how many of you guys actually know what either of those cereals are, because they may not actually sell them anymore, but they are absolutely terrible. It's like Rice Puffs with like some kind of disgusting glaze of some sort. I don't know, it's terrible. Just don't eat it. Just don't eat it. Ever, if it even still exists. Speaking of cereals that may or may not exist, honeycomb. Has anybody seen a box of honeycomb lately? Because I asked the producers earlier and they had no idea. My mother used to buy it way too often. She'd buy it about, I don't know, at least 2 or 3 boxes a week, and that's just uncalled for. You can't be serving your kids that stuff. Wait, what happened? Why y'all looking over there? Whoa, am I looking up here, over there? Okay, cool. I'm looking at you. Yes, I'm looking at you. Anyways, the producers are absolutely crazy. They're trying to distract me, and I don't like that. Anyways, don't be sticking your pinky up at me. What's wrong with you? Anyways, back to this show. Anyways, so yeah, the other day, me and my friend, we were, was asking where he was from. He's from Rochester. And when he said Rochester, I just thought to myself, wait a minute. I've seen Discovery ID a number of times to know that there are a lot of serial killers there. I don't know if you guys have known it. Like, a lot of serial killers come from there. It's almost like they just, like, breed them out there. Like, it's a farm. Why is he calling me? He's not calling me. Is he cool? Yeah. But yeah, I'm wondering if is there something in the water or something? Does anybody know? You know, that's just bad. That's a lot of serial killers. Like, it's like every episode on Discovery ID, there's like, you know, I got away with it or something. And it's like, first episode, this guy's from Rochester, moved to Iowa. This guy's from Rochester, still lived in Rochester, and was still killing people. So yeah, be sure to background check your friends. You know, make sure there's nothing, especially if they're from Rochester. Oh, and he also was telling me, I was like, how when you go to one of the restaurants and you order like a garbage plate, there's obviously it's a bunch of random stuff on there, and the hot sauce, it's not regular hot sauce. It's like hot meat sauce. So if you ask for hot sauce, they're gonna give you hot meat sauce. But if you don't eat meat, then why the hell would they give it to you? Like, that's ridiculous. What? Oh, I'm looking over here. Gotcha. You gotta signal me a little better. How you doing, camera 2? Anyways. Yeah. Speaking of stuff that's spicy, I hate going into the store and I'm buying salsa, and for one, they didn't have hot, which is the one I really want. They have medium and mild. Now, how am I supposed to tell the difference between medium and mild? Like, are they the same? Is one slightly hotter? Do they not even put jalapenos in one or the other? Like, there needs to be like a scale of some sort, like next to nutrition facts. Something like, hey, like, you know, regular, mild, or medium, whichever one's higher, hot, and flames. Just, you know, for consumers like me who care about that stuff, who care about the heat of their salsa. Speaking of salsa, why did they put guacamole never comes out very good from the store either. What are you recording? Are you recording this? Stop. Anyways, okay, cool. Sorry, I shouldn't be talking to producers while this show is on. They're terrible people. Yeah. Oh, did you guys know that Power Rangers the show is still on TV? Mind you, I'm much older than probably most of this audience, but, okay, maybe not that much, I'm 23. Yeah, I remember when Power Rangers first came out, so I was in my room the other day and I was just flipping through the channels and I saw, oh, Power Rangers, what is this doing on? It's new Power Rangers. I think they brought back some of the old Power Rangers, and I'm just wondering, like, there are plenty of like franchises where like they need to just like just cut their run off right then and there, like Power Rangers, what was the other one? Fudge Monkeys. It'll come to me very soon. Pokemon. Pokemon's been around for damn near 20 years. I don't understand why they keep just extending the show on and on. It's like, Ash is apparently still 13. He hasn't changed his clothes in about 18 years. Pikachu is probably going to pass very soon. He's probably going to die pretty soon. He hasn't evolved at all. And it's uncalled for. Like, the show needs to end. Like, do kids even know how many Pokemon there are anymore? Do they even have like whole posters anymore? Because I remember back in the day, I had a poster up on my wall, all 150. I was like, yeah. I'm gonna go get a game. I'm gonna get me a Game Boy. I'm gonna catch them all. Now there are about 650 of them, according to the most recent game. Kids barely have time to do homework or play outside. You think they're gonna spend time? I mean, they probably would spend time to go out there and catch 650 Pokemon, because it's not like they're running around outside anyway. That's why these kids are fat. I have nothing against fat people. Don't worry about that. If you're wondering why I'm wearing this hat, I stole it from a producer. I figured I was in Bill Cosby mode today. Speaking, why are you guys looking at me like there's something wrong with Bill Cosby? Nothing wrong with that. Bill Cosby is funny. I don't know if you've ever seen any of his stand-up, but it's hilarious. Fairly clean too. You can show it to little kids. Well, maybe. Yeah. But yeah, this hat makes me feel like an old guy. me take it off. Let me get this. Anyways. Oh, ladies, when you dye your hair and you're going to, you're choosing out your color, and you don't want exactly jet black, don't ever call it like the shade. If it's not gray, don't call it off black. Don't call it light black. Because my friend literally said, "Oh, I'm gonna dye my hair black, but it's not gonna be jet black. It's gonna be light black." I'm just like, "That's gray, right?" I'm like, "That's gray." She's like, "No, light black." Let's try this again. You mean gray, right? No, light black. Like not jet, like not really, really dark. I'm just like, you know what? I'm done with you. You people are terrible. Anyways, it's Friday. I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing my mouth. I'm gonna talk for five. No. Now I'm just gonna talk for 5 more minutes just because you agreed with me. Yeah. Never mind. I'm in this show right here. You guys have a good Friday. I know none of you guys are gonna miss me or even watch this. See you guys next week. I got a bus to drive.
Nah, can I kick it? Thank you, yeah, I'm so damn grateful. I grew up really wanna go fronts, but that's what you get when Wu-Tang raised you. Y'all can't stop me, go hard like I got an 808 in my heartbeat.